Well, good morning, YouTube, model railway enthusiasts. Give me a second here because I have to flip this camera around. There's always something going on. And this morning when I try to get in, it shows up in the vertical position. Anyway, we'll just try and make it work. So it's been a while since I've been on. Been busy the last little while, and although I did post some videos, I thought it was maybe time to get online and say hello to everybody out there. Oh yeah, the t-shirt, let's see, this is one of my t-shirts that I painted and then stuck on a t-shirt. So a few things, tips and bargains and such like. Let me see if I can get this working properly. Yeah, we'll put it on there like that. I'm not really sure how I'm stuck in vertical. I think it might be because, and I hope you can hear me. I'll put on the chat. Let's see. Guess. No guess. Chat. Anyway, as I say, there's a few things not working exactly the way they should, but that's okay. We'll just continue along these lines, so to speak. So I've got a bag of stuff here that you might like. Oh, and one thing, Digger, if you're out there, hello and welcome back. Not really sure what went on with your website, your YouTube page, etc. I think you got hacked, and then I think you experienced a loss, and my condolences for that. But good to see you back. Anyway, I was out yesterday and I picked up a number of things that are going to come in useful. So this is to Richard at Triple Valve. I can't remember and couldn't find the YouTube channel, but Richard did a great tutorial on how to install toggles on your layout to enhance movement of your locos. And as you know, I've got issues in these areas here where I explained before that I would get creeping taking place on the track. It's because my tracks weren't isolated. Anyway, so I went to the electronics store and I got these little components, like just an on-off switch. Now, Richard said you can get them from these little toys, but I was lucky to find these. They were $1.95 for two, and that was cheap. So I got half a dozen of those, and got one of these, which will help in setting up the wiring for these loops where I'm going to isolate the track. So that's going to be helpful too. And I got the associated, and that was only like it was. I think it was $4, and I got 25 feet each of red and black AWG 22 to wire them. And you know, it was really interesting when Richard did that, because you know, for the longest time, I was thinking, how can I do this? And I thought it was more complicated than what it turns out to be. And Richard did a great explanation of it. I'm just going to try this, see if I can get it to work. Oh, it's not happening, and I think it's something in my settings for the camera that it's defaulting to the vertical, and that's okay for the moment. But I'll get that fixed. I may do another live broadcast tomorrow, a bit longer than this one, and I'll get that sorted. So, $1.25 from a dollar store, a couple of utility knives. It's always good to have extra ones around. And here's some gravel. I think it was $5, I think. And, you know, it's always handy to have that to spread it around. And, you know, I'll put that to use in some locations. Now, for doing, laying the gravel and whatever, grass and whatever, I got one of these here. It's a squeeze bottle, and it was $1.25. Another bargain. I'll just take that off, and as you can see, you can measure it out, and it'll work for you. So that's another good addition. A little bottle of Mod Podge. It was $1.50. I can use that for a variety of things, as you know. Always good to pick up $1.50, I think it was, or $2, whatever it was, for this 225 milliliters of glue, and I can cut that whenever I'm using it, you know, 2-to-1 or 3-to-1. So that'll work out great. What else? Oh yeah, so I had one of these before and lost it, but this is a 4mm to the foot scale rule. Now this will certainly help me as I move forward, making models, and it'll ensure that I get it correct and I don't make any math mistakes when I'm doing conversions. And that was from Hatton's. Now, I had family over the last few weeks, and I had Hatton's send this to their address in Glasgow to bring it over, which was a good idea. Saved me a few dollars on postage. And another thing, and you've already seen it, was the Hornby railway van special edition, and the one I got was the Rangers Football Club. And yeah, you've already seen this, but we'll show you again. There it's there. I wonder if I can't change it around, but yeah, beautiful little van, and a nice little addition to what I'm doing here. And I think as I say, I did post a video about that. Now, you know, in the last year or two, I had a number of issues with the track and derailments, and it was embarrassing at times because, you know, I was doing the video and then something would go off the track, and that was unfortunate, and I'd have to scamper around trying to get everything back on track, so that I could have trains running while I was doing the video. Anyway, I took time to look at specific wagons and coaches, and use the wheel spacer to make sure the correct gauge, and I went round all the points, and I checked them out and made sure that we had a smooth transition in and out of the points, because there were a few points around the layout that were problematic. I might just run something right now. Now, I also got this Dremel extension, and I've explained that in another video, that this makes it easier to cut the track square, because you don't have this sitting on top of the track. So this is a great addition, and that will help me when I'm doing the isolation of these tracks. Anyway, let's see what's working, if anything. Yeah. Okay, we'll just give you a look and see what's going on here. So that's running quite well. No problems with the track. And then we'll try another track and see what comes out. And there's the Intercity 225. And I really like this. I mean, it's dead smooth and runs great. Just, there's no problems with it whatsoever. Anyway, so that's what's going on in the layout. Oh, let's get that fixed there. So that's just a few things that are going on, and I'm waiting on a bag of bits from Tony at Triang Hornby Parks. You know, there again, you know, I made an order, and I asked Tony to send it to my cousins in Glasgow and have them bring it with them. Unfortunately, it didn't arrive in time before they went to the airport. Probably out by a day or two, and that's unfortunate. So they're going back to Glasgow. They'll be back in Glasgow on Monday, and they'll get that in the mail to me because there's a few things that I've ordered that are going to help me get other locomotives running. They're missing different elements. And as I said, I don't recall exactly what it was that I ordered, but certainly needed parts. And not everything is available. Not everything is available from. I think I've got something picked up on that that Intercity. Check that wasn't something on the track. Anyway, yeah. So once I get that bag of components, I'll set them out and prioritize things. But as I say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate this track here so that, when the train comes in, I can just have it sitting there, turn the power off, not worry about it encroaching into the point. And the same with the other loop, I'll do that. So I'll do two there, and I'll do two in the opposite direction, and I'll do the same on the other side. And I'll set up some kind of a panel here that I can just switch them on and off, just as Richard said. And here's some of the brass cogs that I've got that I still have to put on, and I haven't gotten around to resolving that issue of how to get the cogs back onto these spindles, these axles. But I will get there. I just haven't had the time excuse me, to sit down and work it out. I'm sorry you can't chat because I'm doing this on my cell phone, and let me see, there's 14 comments here. Oh, here we go. Digger Evans, yes, sir. How are you? Great to hear from you. I have the extension but never used it. Yeah, well, I bought it because I wanted to try and make sure that I got some nice cuts there, Digger. And I don't know if we can get you up there, but it's a handy little tool. Dave Swindon Junction. Hey, Dave, how you doing? And there's Anfield Road. How are you, Lee? So, yeah, this was just an unplanned tap on a comment to show. Okay, let's just see. Yeah, there you go. Now I've got it. So, there you go. Yeah, as I said, glad you're back up and running, Digger. I was a little bit worried not having heard from you for some time. I know you always respond quickly, but good to hear that you're back on track, so to speak. Yeah, I saw your request, and that's good. That's the way to do it. Yeah, it's really too bad about these things. It's very malicious and annoying when it happens. Well, Lee, that's fine. I solder most of mine, but I just thought in this case I would try the block and see how it works. It's only sort of pocket change. Not really worried about that aspect of it. It's not as if I'm buying hundreds of them, but everybody's got their own preference. Yeah, Digger, I like to drop into the dollar store or down to this electronics store that I visit, where I get a lot of stuff as needed. So Lee, good thing you got. Not really sure which of the things you were talking about, but yeah, you put a new video out on Thursday. Well, I'll check that out later. Yeah, so I think we're. Oh, there's Clive. Clive, how are you? Um, yeah, I know it is a nice one, and it runs so smooth. Uh, I know it was out there somewhere. Um, we'll get it out next time. Anyway, Clive, you've got. I have to review the videos you sent me. As I said, I've been really busy, up and down to Niagara Falls, up and down to downtown Toronto, uh, taking my cousins around, um, showing them the sights. Um, I'm just going to show you something here. I'll turn this around. Now, this is a really nice Bachman. I bought it from a guy a number of years ago, put it on the track, and then the valves jammed. Now, you see that wheel there's coming out or off. I think that axle might be bent. And look at this. I mean, the thing was like brand new. Anyway, I think Double O Bill, did a repair on one of those, and I'm, I'm really hesitant to take this thing apart. But it's a beautiful Bachman, and I really wanted to see this running around the layout here. So I'll need to review Bill's uh, video on the repair that he did on that, and see what's going on. See if I can fix it. Yeah, as I said, I've just done a quick setup this morning, uh, just to say hi. Here's another one. This one of my class fives. The problem is, uh, the tender broke, as you can see there, and I'd like to try and get a new tender frame, but not sure where I'm going to find it. I did contact Tony at Triang Parts, and he was unable to help. So if anybody knows where I might find that particular model, I think this is from the Silver Seal edition 45192. Um, and hopefully I can find one of those. Um, this was a local 3D printed uh, generator, and I mean it fits in. It's approximately, well, it looks okay. That's all I'm saying. I'll paint it and see how it looks. But yeah, I was really quite happy with that, and it was reasonably priced. Uh, the tenement is upstairs at the moment. Um, Andy, how are you? Good of you to drop by. Yeah, eBay. Yeah, I know. The problem, Dave, with eBay is it costs a fortune. Um, Oh, sorry. Thanks, Clive. I accidentally hit that button. So I was saying, uh, the problem with many of the eBay sellers is in the UK, for whatever reason, uh, they have to charge um, a lot of money for postage. Now, there's a long story about that. We don't really need to go into it at this time. I think I've mentioned it before. So while I'm hesitant, I will check around and see. And in fact, I mentioned this before. I've got a lot of stuff here that I can't always run, and so I'm thinking maybe I should start selling off some of what I've got. But it could be cost inhibitive um, for anyone who would be interested in purchasing it, because I would imagine you can get the same stuff in the UK without paying an inflated postage rate to get it from here. It's just something I need to explore, because there's not really too many outlets here. And in fact, I did mention back in May, I went to the biannual model railway show run by the platelayers, of whom I am a member of. And I took along a number of pieces for sale, and I priced them, which I thought was less than eBay prices. And I thought, well, they should go okay, but I think I only sold the one item, and that was the Caledonian single. Somebody picked it up. I think I had it on sale for 175. They might have got 10% off. And that was really unfortunate. The reason I sold it was that it wouldn't run on my track. It would hop and skip over the points. And then I think I told you the story shortly thereafter. Double O Bill did a repair on one, and oh my God, he had it running smooth as cream. It was unbelievable. And I was like, oh, why didn't I sell that? But hey, these things happen. I mean, I made money on it. I might have paid $100 for it when I got it a number of years ago, but it's gone up in price. And yeah, okay, so I got a little bit back, and that was good. Let's see what's happening. I got 2 new DC kits, Class 156 DMU in Strathclyde livery 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so the ones I've got are the Lima ones, and as I said, like they run really smooth, and I'm really happy with them. And so another thing I'm going to try and finalize is this end to end that I've got sitting here, and I've got the like I've got the components somewhere to set it up, and it's not a big deal. I just haven't got around to it, like one of the many things. Yeah. Oh, good for you, Andy. Nice little trip. We've been troubled by the smoke from the wildfires here. It's hard to imagine, but you're getting it too, or will be getting it. It's just blanketed the whole province, and I couldn't tell you how many Great Britons could fit into the province of Ontario, but there'd be a number of them. And the fires are coming from Alberta, Manitoba, Northern Ontario, and Quebec, and it's swirling around into the northeastern US states, and the taste is terrible, and it's not good to be out there working or exercising during this period. So I just stay indoors whenever it's like that. Put something that's somehow come off a track. Oh. And it's under the tunnel. Not sure if I'm going to get it. Yeah, I'll see if I can pull this thing out. Yeah. Not sure if it's hitting something, but yeah, it's always a good idea to check the track. Yeah, there's something in here. Yeah. A drunken whiskey carriage, right? Or van, tanker. It's been in the distillery too long. I'll just see if I can. Ah, there you go. Yeah, what's happening here? A new DC kit, yeah. So the new DC kit is it Hornby or Lima? I guess Lima's defunct. Assume it's Hornby that you've got there. And I'm sure you've seen this, but those are my pastels that I use when I'm doing some shading or dust weathering. They're very, very handy, and I use them on my Instagram channel. Sometimes when I'm drawing cars, I'll use the pastel powder to shade the car, and gives it a nice effect. I'm not sure what your opinions are on controllers, but you've seen this before. That's a Tech 2, quite reliable. And then I've got one of these little mini ones, like I think it costs $7 or something like that, and very reliable. Gives great control. And I have another one here that I had disconnected, and I'll need to reconnect it. So what I'm finding is that everything for the most part is running well, unless there's something stuck on the track, like I think that's what's happened with this one. Because there's no reason why it wouldn't be running. I'm just going to try it and see. Yeah. Instant response. It's not an issue. Bit of a slow spot there might mean I'll have to put a dropper in there, because there's no other reason why it would slow down like that. I'll just give it a little bit more juice. Yeah, that's better. And so, talking about the pastel powders, I use baby powder when I'm sketching cars and I want to render them or colour them. I'll put out some powder, the scraped powder from the pastels, and then also some baby powder, and I'll mix it up, and that makes it smoother to apply. Without the baby powder, it'd be more of a rough application. So you might want to experiment on that yourself, even if you just have charcoal and scrape it off and use the charcoal, because your weathering powders, often $20 for 4 little pieces of it, where if you spent $20 or $30 on a box like that, it'll last you forever. So let's see what's happening. Anyway, so everything seems to be running just fine now, and that's always a good thing. Here's a Class 37 Radio Highland 37260. I've had this in a drawer because I never had a Class 37, but I picked this up a number of years back. It's missing buffers, but that's okay. And I may change it out with the other Class 37 that I've got, the EWS, just for a change, right? Anyway, as I said, I hadn't planned on being on here long. I just thought I'd jump in and say hi. How are you? It's great to see you guys on YouTube, and whenever I get a chance, I'm always watching what you're doing. And as I said to Richard, triple valve, like, I love your layout. I love your isolation tutorial, and you've got lots of things going on there that I know you can share, and I'll be sharing what I've learned from you, and I'll get these tracks isolated. So let's just see new comments. Yeah, good to see you too, Digger. We'll be in touch. Anyway, I'm just going to let this run for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to jump off and might see you tomorrow. I'll see how things go. Right. See you later. Thanks for dropping by. We'll catch you next time. Take care.